love keeping some pets. The Mississippi pot roast is a fancy meal, I guess, where you take ranch packets and you put it on meat. It's normally cooked in a slow cooker.
Ryan always said, "Who puts ranch on meat? Who puts ranch on meat?"
It's like the people like the advertisements, like, "Yo, you gotta try this ranch on the pizza."
Well, we have done this.
Pizza. This is really good.
I have never made this meal. I've seen it on a couple different other websites. Yeah. I know Hey Grow Hay did it, and there was a few other ones. They call it Mississippi pot roast. My wife's made it in like a slow cooker. That's what my sister-in-law makes it all the time that way.
We're gonna put it in a smoker, the Char griller.
We're gonna try it in the Char griller. I'm just gonna cut a little bit of this fat off while we're doing it. So basically, you're gonna take this. We're gonna smoke it. I know they did it for like 3 hours. I'm gonna smoke it till the bark looks nice and it's the color I want. We're going to put it at 225. We're going to run it for probably 4 to 6 hours. It's all going to depend on how it's smoking down. And then we're going to stick it in a pan. We got a thing of brown gravy.
Yeah.
We got a thing of...
I think I got the right one.
He didn't, but there's a...
I didn't see the ranch.
We actually have...
Mississippi roast.
There's actually a Mississippi roast packet that my wife found from my corner. So we're either going to do that. We have Hidden Valley Ranch.
I was looking for the Hidden Valley.
Yeah, we have one downstairs because I bought it the other day for this cook. Yeah. So we're basically going to put onions on the bottom. We'll show you this part later. We're going to mix this, put in the thing, and then we're going to throw in a bunch of pepperoncinis.
My favorite.
Actually, in this recipe on the grill, they actually say pour in the juice. So we're going to put in the juice to keep the liquid in there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to keep it cooking. I don't know if we're going to turn it up after that. We're going to see how many hours we smoke it first and what the temp is.
The average is like 10 hours.
Well, she did it, but she kept it at 225 the whole time. So once we cover it, it's not going to get smoke anymore.
Let's got a side of potato wedges with some onions inside of this like pie pan. We got some butter here. I'm going to cut like half of it into slabs and stick it on. We got some seasonings right here. And we got some spicy seasonings right here that he made. What is this?
This is just ground up, dried habanero. So actually, it's hot, so he's gonna have to be careful. But this right here is a mixture of that we've been using. It's 1 pot pepper, 1 pot salt, 1 pot garlic powder, 1 pot onion powder, and actually this actually has a little bit of poultry seasoning because we used it for one of the turkeys, I believe, the Bell seasoning. So here we go. That's what we're gonna be doing today. Kind of excited to try this. I have had this in a crock pot. I'm just going to try to cut some of this fat off. I really don't want to hit the meat. I actually want the fat for the flavor.
Yeah.
But some of this was a little bit fat. So I just want to take some of the big stuff off without cutting too much of the meat. I actually might throw this in a cast iron pan. Get away from you since you like to throw your left elbow around.
Well, I'm putting the butter in the butter dish.
I don't know why, because you have to season it first.
Well, I thought I'd season the butter too.
Okay. And I'm trying to go slow here. This is a nice sharp knife, but I'm trying to just get mostly fat.
Butter dish.
I think I'm going to throw this in a cast iron pan. I'm going to see if we can get a little beef tallow out of it and smoke it down. I want to keep some of the fat. I'm trying to take none of the meat off. Eventually, when we have a big cut, I keep trying to get Ryan with his work schedule and everything else. We have yet to do a brisket.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the telltale sign. We've had some really good ribs come off this Char griller. I've yet to do a brisket. I really want to try one, but I know the ones we found, they're really expensive, but and they're looking really bad. You know what I mean? So we got to find a nice area where I can get a good looking brisket around here.
Maybe we'll get like a sponsorship from like a meat.
Wow, you're really reaching. That would be great.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I gotta try to find something because I really want to try one.
That would be cool though, no?
That would be awesome.
Anyways, so here's some of the things. I season that, and we're gonna just.
All right, well, here you can actually season that. Just remember, that's just ground habanero, so that's straight up hot.
Big boy spicy right here.
And we may add a little butter to this later. We'll have to see what it looks like. You can feel free with the seasoning. Remember, that's gonna cook down a little bit too. Like if you want to put a little more of the garlic and stuff, but. He really likes the potato wedges when we make them in the air fryer.
Yeah, we have an air fryer. Maybe we'll do an air fryer cook just to show y'all.
Yeah, so
but our air fryer is kind of weird.
Look at that. We just went southern. He really likes it. He really likes it in the... Okay. we don't want to go too heavy because there is salt in this rub.
You're
and
right.
everything we put in is salt. So get all 4 sides. Don't let me get in your way. So I do want to put a little bark on the outside. We can probably get the edges with the stuff that's going to fall. But I don't want to go too heavy with the salt that's in the shaker because of it is a good piece of meat. It's like just over 3 pounds.
3 pounds. We got this on sale, $10. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, this one was like, because I'll tell you, meat nowadays is not cheap. But
No,
this one
same
was
with bacon.
like,
Bacon's like gas prices.
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
No, bacon isn't. It's even more than gas prices. Bacon's crazy right now. So there's a bunch of recipes I wanted to try all bacon wrap, but to get bacon, it's like 8 to 10 pounds, $8 a pound right now. So
we used to find bacon for $2.50.
Yeah, that was at Walmart. They were like offset
bacon.
cuts. It was some of the best bacon
Yeah,
I
they
ever
were like
had.
the cuts nobody wants to buy.
All right, so we're gonna go. He seasoned this up nice. We're gonna let this sit a little bit. We're gonna go fire up the smoker again. We're gonna run this at 225. We're gonna throw this on and we're gonna just let it go. I know the last time we tried potato wedges on there, it took forever.
Dude, onion.
But,
I kind of want to just eat the onion.
Yeah. So there you go. We're gonna throw this on the grill and we'll get back to you in a bit. All right, I told him I was going to vent. We wanted to put this on at 6 o'clock this morning. It is now 9:25 because someone's a captain procrastinator over there.
But
we just had a major issue with trying to get the grill to stop for some reason. I think because it poured for the last 40 days and 40 nights. We had a little bit of charcoal that was left over, and it did not want to light today. So 9:25. Here's the potatoes. We got the roast in.
We just stuck them on.
I threw the little beef tallow. I want to see what it renders down to just to see. So we're going to run this at 225. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. We're going to probably leave this on for at least a few hours.
What are we using today?
So today, I used the rest of the
Championship Cherry Expert Grill.
My wife had bought these flavored ones. They actually seem to have a lot more smoke flavor than just a regular briquettes. But she also bought this, so I stayed with the apple thing, and we have chunks of oak in there. But everything's damp because of the
van.
It's been raining forever out here, so. And I plugged in our probe. It's saying it's at 55 degrees. We had it was running like, what, 20, 30, 40 degrees higher.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with my meat probe. The meat's been sitting out for a little while. It could possibly be 55 degrees, but I'm not really worried about the temp. This is going to be on for probably 3-4 hours. I want to get the bark good, and then we're going to put it inside of a pan and really tenderize it up. So we'll be back when we do that. Okay, so it has been approximately 6 hours.
6 hours.
And no, we forgot to bring something. It turned a beautiful mahogany color. It's still got a nice squish to it. So what we decided we were gonna do, because it's been 6 hours. Ryan tempted.
Ah!
Almost just knocked everything
Almost
over.
knocked everything over.
Ryan,
we have some things here.
Ryan tempted earlier, about an hour ago, and it was about 130-ish, so it's got to be right around that 160 area. We're going to bring it up to probably about a couple, like 200. We want to make sure it's just tender and it just goes right through.
Now, what do we have in your hand right now?
So right now, all we've done so far is I put a little thing of onions and garlic inside of the, nobody ever put garlic in it, but I love garlic on everything. So we put a little bit of garlic on the bottom. I'm just going to move it around. And what we're going to do is wish we grabbed something that's hot with things, and we're gonna stick it right in here
on the onions.
And we have a ranch dip.
Yep, we're not using the one we showed earlier because
this is just like a hidden
we don't know what
ranch,
that is.
Dip mix.
Yeah,
that they say to put in it. I've never used it. It actually smells really good. And we're gonna just put a little bit of this all inside. Now they say it can possibly be salty depending on some of them. Everything has salt in it. We're gonna try it. I've never done this meal. And then we have a brown gravy mix. This is just Signature Kitchens, whichever does that. And it's just gonna
sit on top as well. And when the meat leaks, basically, what's gonna happen is it's gonna make a nice gravy.
At the very least, it's gonna add that beef flavor to it. And
now, what do we have here?
With this, we have some pepperoncinis. This was another jar that we had. And I'm just going to add, they actually said add all of the liquid to it, and I think that's because when she makes it in the crock pot, I think they just stick the peppers. I don't think they stick the liquid. We have another jar. If we need more liquid, we could put more in. I was actually thinking of putting some wine or beer, but Ryan told me to keep it normal, so we'll have to see. And then on top, so we're gonna add all these in there. This makes such a good flavor. If you've never had a roast like this,
you didn't cut it.
I didn't. I brought a thing.
Oh.
Instead of having if you've never had a roast like this, we've done it in a crock pot, and it comes out absolutely delicious. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drop a few pads of butter all over this.
Butter is good.
And it's gonna mix in and help make all the gravy and everything else. And I'm gonna cover this with tin foil. We're gonna stick this back on. So what I've decided, you can keep this at 225 and probably cook it for another 6 hours until it's fall apart tender. I think since we're not getting smoke on it anymore, I think I'm gonna turn it up to 350, and we're gonna try to expedite this because it's smelling delicious, and I wanna see if I wanna get this in me.
All right.
Put about a half a stick of butter in there, just to, because butter, everything's better with butter. And that's it. So I'm gonna go get some tin foil. I'm gonna cover this up, and we'll bring you back when we think it's fork tender.
Okay, humans and pets. We started at 9:20. It's right now around 20.
Yeah.
6:13 right now. So it was in total a 9-hour cook.
Yeah, but we turned it up. So after, what was it, 6 hours, I think we ended up hitting it, or was it 5 hours?
I don't know. Watch back the video.
It was about at 3. So I think it was at 3:30. I think we ended up.
We turned it up to 350.
We turned it to 350.
And then
it just surprised us because it was like not going anywhere, not going anywhere, not going anywhere. And we just went out and checked it. And all of a sudden it was at like 207 degrees. We were going to put the potatoes at like 3/4 of the way cooked. So we took them off earlier because we didn't want to burn them.
We never put them back on.
But we never put them back on because all of a sudden this went.
They're still like 3/4.
So the potatoes are going to be a fail. They should taste good, but they're just going to be not as good. These I got
a gift
for a gift. I've never used them.
Day.
I don't know what's going to happen.
What it is it's a meat claw.
No, I mean it was bear claws,
meat,
but
and
I don't know what this is going to feel like. We just kind of poked it with a fork. It does look like it wants the thing.
It's at 107 the time.
I'm probably going to make a mess, but we're going to see. Oh, did you take a picture?
No.
No, you didn't even take a picture for the people. This was supposed to go on top of the hot thing so you don't burn the table. We're going to try to bring this right up to you. Right there that you brought up.
Well, I didn't put it
So there's what it looked like at the end. He didn't snap a picture today.
That's all right.
And let's see what happens. I just want to try it. I didn't want to go all bear clawing at it. Oh boy.
How is it going?
Well, it's tearing, but I've never used these, so I don't know like how much it's gonna tear.
You gotta learn the secrets.
The secret of the claws. I am not a bear. I do not have the claws. It's ripping. I've never used them, so I don't know if it's ripping easy. Like I usually use forks. Okay, let's see. That's what I mean. I don't know how it normally tears. Let's go this way because this is the way the grain's going this way.
Yeah, that's normally how you tear things.
Yeah, I know. Well, I had to find which way the grain was going. So we're going to put this. I didn't bring knives. I want this to go in the juice anyways because of I wanted to get all the flavor. Let's take one chunk, Ryan. I'm going to throw it on your plate.
Okay.
It's this chunk right here. And you can just show them. Bring your plate over.
Yeah.
You can show them what it actually looks like.
Okay. So as you can see, it's
You're laughing at my... Hey, listen.
Beautiful smoke ring.
It is definitely...
Has a bug on the bottom.
Good.
Nice and juicy. The center looks nice and good. Yummy. Show the opposite side. There's that smoke ring again. And the bug. It's nice and cooked. I guess we'll eat it.
It has a nice little smell to it. Like, the flavor-wise, you want yours tore up more?
No, it's all good. Well, yeah. Can you...
Yeah, you can just stick it in and you can grab some that's already tore up. Yep. Just give me a minute.
I can do that.
The good part is with the juice,
is that it's pepperoni.
Yeah, see, now that I got the hang of which way I want to rip it.
So now it's nice and all juicy in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we're going to leave this right in the juice for a minute and let it really get in there.
It's probably going to be good.
It's usually the way
I'm excited.
I do my roast anyways, but I'm not going to tear it totally up. I'm just going to rip it like that. And there you go. This worked relatively good. You want to try a pepperoncini while it's...
How do you want to take on?
Well, it's
in the juice.
In the juice. So now that it's all... Put this over here. Now that it's all ripped up, just so you can take a look and see.
It's good.
That's what we're looking at now.
I'll have an onion over here.
Go ahead, I'll try a little one.
Take a little bit.
These are just, when we took them off, they were almost cooked. They were like 3/4 of the way cooked. It still had a little crunch to it. But it has a really good smoky flavor. I told him if we threw them in the microwave for 2 minutes, they'd be good. I'll tell you, he hit them with my crushed red, which is basically dried habanero. Not even basically, it's 100% dried habaneros. And I grind them up, and it gives it a nice. I'm surprised you can eat them.
It's not that spicy though.
It just gives you that nice heat. The reason I like doing it, I miss having a garden, but I always did them because you can spice up a meal, but it doesn't change the taste. You know what I mean? Like you put hot sauce on, it's going to taste like whatever hot sauce you put on. The onions came out nice and crispy.
If it tastes good,
right?
But most hot sauces don't taste too good.
Well, even when they do, it's fine. But sometimes, mainly when I used to make pasta and I wanted my homemade sauce, I wanted to taste my sauce.
Well, a lot of people put red pepper flakes.
Correct, to give it the spice. But like if you put hot sauce in that, then you just change the whole flavor of your sauce, as opposed to, I didn't rip this one all the way up, but this is falling apart nice now that I know how to do it. Go ahead and grab. You want me to grab it for you?
Grab some.
Bring your plate to the thing so I don't spill on the table. And I'll grab a little bit myself. I didn't try pepperoncini, as you like to say.
You have to try a pepperoncini.
It's off. Ooh, that one's full.
Yeah, try it in your face.
It's very saucy.
Yeah, the sun
that's good. Out. Yeah, because it's cooked. Yeah. Those always have. They're always good. Was that typical? Everybody looks at it and goes, that is good.
Oh, I took a bite and I was like,
Was it actually good or was that a fake one?
No, it's really good.
Oh, that's just delicious.
Hot.
I will say too, as Ed,
very hot.
Let's just use this one. Nobody's used this fork. We're gonna put this back in the meat. It has so we've had this in crock pots before, and I've really liked it. Let me take another bite before I say this out loud, but I'm gonna say it out loud anyways. There is a nice smoke flavor popping out of this.
There's a nice smoke flavor popping out of this.
I should have tried it before I dunked it back in the juice, but being that you dunk it back in the juice, it is so moist and so delicious. Although this roast, even in a crock pot, is awesome that way. It's always so moist. I was a little afraid because in this recipe, it said use the whole jar of juice from the peppers. I was afraid it was going to be salty because it's kind of a salty thing.
I was afraid it's going to be too sweet.
All of that.
But it's like perfect.
It's like neither. It actually just adds like this, I was afraid of all of it. I was afraid it's going to be salty, and because I always tell them, I like jalapenos better because I think these are salty peppers when you just eat them with like a salad.
If you eat like multiple, it can get overwhelming. I eat like 7.
This actually is just
that's like
really
my
good.
end point. Is
when you get
like 6 or 7.
Like this outside piece.
I like them a lot.
That has that bark that we put on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to eat it, but I keep failing.
But it does have that nice little. That juice is just really good. That come out really good.
Tears off easy. It's like butter. Except
I was just gonna say that you don't even need teeth to chew this. Like as you can see, I'm cutting it with my fork. It's falling apart in my plate. It's shredding, like even probably more than I pulled pork did.
Yeah. Mainly probably because of the liquid, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
And the butter we threw in and everything.
That's just it. That whole combination of everything we put in here, it really works.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this. If you've ever done this in a crock pot like we have, or in like just a regular pan in your oven, it's great. But that little addition of the smoke,
it's great.
Those would do good. I might even take the peppers and take some of the juice. Potatoes. When I say peppers, because I'm holding a pepper in my hand.
It's a pepperoncini.
If I'm thinking, I might even take the potatoes and pour a little bit of juice on them and kind of nuke them that way.
You take that guy. Take big guy.
Why? Is it too tough?
No,
You're full?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, overall, this would have been a lot longer cook.
I ate like 8 icebreakers today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll really fill you up. Overall, it would have been a lot longer if we kept it at the 250. But once I covered it, I turned it up to 350, and we only kept it in there for a couple hours after that. But this is so tender. Even this big chunk that wasn't separated. Because when you separate like this and put it back, because even when I make like a roast at my house, right after that last hour or so, I'll cut it and I'll throw it down in the juice and I'll let that last little bit cook so it's all juicy like this.
One thing is you can't really taste the ranch, right? It's like a new flavor. It mixes with the gravy powder.
Yeah.
And it mixes something unique. I don't know how it works, but it tastes completely different, really.
Again, it gives you a flavor, and you get that little bit of and actually you don't get as much as I thought. When we've had it in an oven, or in a crock pot like she makes it, she doesn't add the juice of the peppers. And to me, it's always saltier and a little more briny tasting. This is more gravy tasting. Like that. And I don't know if maybe she doesn't add the gravy mix, because this really does, like the gravy cuts the brininess of the juice. Somehow. And it cuts the heaviness of the ranch dressing and adds it into deliciousness. It really does, yeah.
If you could rank it with a number, mine as well.
You and your numbers all.
Or just a cook. Like, where does it fall in our cooks? We don't need a number. I like all the ribs we're making.
No.
I like the buffalo chicken we made.
Well,
I like the beans. My favorite cook at this point, it changes like whatever I want to eat at that point, right?
These are actually
what
really
I
tasty
want to eat again is that kielbasa. With the burger. I love that meal so much. But this is definitely up there for me. I think this beats our pulled porks.
I don't think so. I really like that pulled pork with the barbecue sauce.
Well, the barbecue sauce is really good. But I think the meat itself here has more goodness to it.
Well, you know what?
That meat.
We didn't eat this one. Yes and no. Because this one, as juicy as our pulled pork was, and you know what we didn't try, is any of these onions that have been cooking in here for hours.
Yeah.
I gotta try some of that. I shouldn't say no. It's a different taste. I really like that traditional pulled pork smoke with the bark.
With the bark.
And then the barbecue sauce on the top. That was absolutely out of this world, and I ate most of it.
But when you get a piece like this with the bark,
when you get it, well, honestly, on it with the juice that's in this, and we could have. And don't get me wrong, I ate the other one, but I had a bunch of juice. In fact, if you go ahead and watch that last episode when we did the pork butt, I poured a bunch of it on my lap as I was taking it off because I didn't realize how full it was.
It started veining toward the end of the cook as well.
It was just pouring outside. That's why we brought everything inside. But with that being said, potato had a crunch to it.
And the fat didn't render down too much, if you were wondering. It just rendered a little bit.
On what?
The fat.
On this one?
No, not on the meat. On separate.
Yeah.
Cast iron pan.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we got a little.
It was just a tiny amount of fat. I just wanted to see what the flavor is going to be.
Oh, no.
I put this right up there with the two pulled porks, but it's a different taste.
It's a different flavor
because of the
ranch.
the ranch and stuff.
And the gravy package.
Did you try the onions? Those onions are dynamite.
Can you get me one?
Go ahead. There's a
I don't know whether
fork right there. There's 2 onions in there.
2 onions. We did put the onions, but they're all on the bottom. Alright.
No, they really sucked up the juice of the.
We'll probably just throw the potatoes in here.
I'm just gonna add this as just another really successful, super flavorful.
Definitely.
With minimal stuff. You could almost get away with not even seasoning the outside of the meat because this is so flavorful.
The meat's just so good.
It really is. It really is. And it is so tender. As much as I made a mockery of it while I was using the bear claws, but it literally just pulls apart like nobody's business. This has just a little bit of fat.
They worked all right though.
They work great once I figured out the concept of pulling it the right way. But overall, I definitely give this 2 huge thumbs up. Definitely give this a try. If I ever get Ryan to do Instagram and everything else, we'll have you tag us in it if you ever watch at it. But we definitely, I'll definitely cook this one again because this came out really good. Give it a try. Leave a comment down below. And this is probably a long video because we've been cooking for a while, but watch out for them. They're very sharp. Hope you enjoyed the video.